bursting with fruity flavor. Got kids or just a SpongeBob fan? Individual SpongeBob toys are available too. And it's Biscoff season at BK. Enjoy a creamy Biscoff shake or a smooth sweet Biscoff sundae or cone. SpongeBob Biscoff and flame grilled favorites. Only at Burger King. Your way every day.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees. So fair. Today is Wednesday, the 25th day of March 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. I'm going to dispense with most of my opening comments this morning because we do have guests in the studio and we have a limitation on time as well. Just to remind you that For the Record, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union looks forward to serving the Cayman community for the next 50 years and beyond. And very quickly, we have a few birthday shout-outs, but this one in particular this morning, and we'll do the others later, to Miss Susan from my family and me. We're sending you a massive birthday shout-out today. May God bless you abundantly, keep you covered, and surround you with peace, joy, and favor. Susan, you are loved, appreciated, and celebrated. Enjoy your special day to the fullest. May it overflow with laughter, sweet surprises, and the kind of moments that stay with you forever. Peace and love, Lisa. So, Miss Susan, our colleague here at Radio Cayman, celebrating her birthday today. And of course, she is on well-deserved vacation at this point in time as well. So, folks, getting to other important issues here. DG's 5K challenge. So far, milestones have been reached and events have already taken place. On Sunday, the 8th of March, Cayman Brac, nearly 100 persons participated. This past Sunday, the 15th of March, Little Cayman, 80 people on the starting line. And coming up this Sunday, the 29th of March, right here in Grand Cayman, the big kahuna taking place as well. So it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Honorable FRANZ MANDERSON, Deputy Governor and Co-Chair of the DG's 5K, Ms. Jennifer AHEARN, who the Deputy Governor actually refers to as the chair rather than the co-chair.
Yeah.
And we also have in the studio with us Miss Beverly Edgington, who's the Chief Administrator of the Cayman Breast Cancer Foundation. Folks, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. And good morning, Cayman. And you were right, Mr. Connor. It's fresh breezes this morning. Yeah, so we're very happy to walk outside this morning and feel that soft, fresh breeze.
Certainly, and if you have that on Sunday, that'll be good for you, for those
even better.
participants as well. Over to you, DG. You have the mic.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Connor. As you said, the DG's 5K 2026 is in full swing. We have had great turnouts in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. I think Little Cayman was a bit special. We had some civil servants and some other persons actually come over from Grand Cayman that morning, from Cayman Brac that morning. So they got up extra, or they took a boat over to Little Cayman, did the 5K. We had some tourists there. I jogged halfway with a gentleman who had just retired from his business in the U.S. He gave me some retirement advice along the way. He said, I'm keeping a bit busy. But I have told my assistant no meetings on Mondays and Fridays and nothing before 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. any other day. So he seems to have sort of a good balance. But we really want to focus on what our charities do that we have identified for the 5K 2026. I was on the show last week where we had the Special Olympics and Jasmine. And this morning we have Miss Beverly here for the Breast Cancer Foundation. So these charities, I think, mean a lot to all of us. They across our Cayman Islands, everyone has at some point come in contact with these charities. Unfortunately, I think all of us know someone who has had the unfortunate experience of cancer. And I really wanted to support the work that Beverly and her team do, because I have attended their galas. I have listened to them talk about the difference that they have made in people's lives, the support, the counseling, I think you all had bought some hats for people.
A cold capping.
Cold capping, so that people help with not losing their hair.
Okay.
The charities do so much to make people's lives a bit better during a very difficult time in their life. So I've always said, when you see something happening in our community, you have choices. You can, criticize it. You can call up the talk shows and complain about it, or you can actually do something. And my entire career has been around, let's do something about it. So that's why we're here. That's why we're talking about the Breast Cancer Foundation and the work that they do, but also then overall, Mr. Connor, of healthy body, healthy mind, getting out, getting some exercise, keeping fit, and supporting some amazing charities at the same time. So I keep saying there's no downside to the DG's 5K. You challenge yourself to walk 3 miles, challenge yourself to get up in the morning, challenge yourself to be part of a solution.
Certainly. So before we throw the mic over to Ms. Beverly, Ms. Jennifer, I want you to talk about some of the numbers and what's been happening so far and where we are at as far as registration is concerned for the big event.
Yeah, thanks very much, and good morning, everyone. So we're really excited. The registration numbers here in Grand Cayman are over the 2,300 mark. So if you haven't registered yet, you want to hurry up and do so, because we will have to close registration when the event gets sold out, and we're getting close to our maximum number, which is incredibly exciting for us. But please, 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 if you've been sort of on the fence and haven't done it yet, get online, www.racecaribbean.com. All of the registration is being done online this year. That's where you need to go to get signed up, and you need to do it today. Registration will remain open until Saturday, unless we hit our maximum capacity, in which case we will close it beforehand. So the entry fees, we've kept them at $25 for 18 and over, $10 for 17 and under, We've been able to keep it at that level thanks to the amazing support from our sponsors. Applebee is on board again as our diamond sponsor this year. We're hugely grateful to Applebee for their continued support. Butterfield has come on, or has remained on, as platinum. And then at gold, we have Cineco, the credit union, who are celebrating their 50th anniversary, DART, Davenport, and EY. So we're really excited to see everybody signing up. T-shirt or race package pickup will be tomorrow and Friday at the Government Administration Building between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. in the public lobby. If you come in the morning between 9 and 1, the team from Public Health will be there doing health checks as well for free. So another reason to stop by. And our event is the kickoff for the Ministry of Health's Move It Cayman campaign as well. So lots going on, lots of exciting things. But racecaribbean.com is where you want to go to get signed up and be part of the fun.
Yes.
And it would
do it today.
It would appear as if you sign up later than the pickup date, then you won't be able to get any race packages.
Well, we'll have, so race packages are available first come, first serve. Your bib number is assigned, but the T-shirt and tank are not reserved. So you do want to come early. We will have them available on the morning of. So if you do register after Friday, just make sure you come extra early on Sunday morning to give yourself time to get your race bib, get your shirt, and get on the start line. The race starts promptly at 6:30 a.m. Ventisha Connolly is our race marshal and coordinator, and she's a stickler for an on-time start. So please make sure you plan ahead. We're expecting lots of people, so you want to carpool. The road in front of the government admin building up to the Elgin Avenue roundabout will be closed. So you want to make sure that you allow extra time to find somewhere to park. Please bring a reusable water bottle. We're trying to minimize the amount of waste that we're generating with the event. So we're encouraging people to bring their own water bottles. We will have 3 water stops on the course. But if you can bring your own water bottle, that would be fantastic. And just get up extra early. Come and enjoy some of the ambiance. We'll have a DJ playing some tunes and just lots of really positive energy. So be there.
It can be very exciting, and even though I have never participated in one, shameless plug, but I certainly have been there and last year, and it is so exciting. You get an opportunity to meet new friends, make new friends, meet old friends as well, old acquaintances, and just to have a wonderful time. And just seeing the massive crowds of people out there, that in itself is a motivation.
Yeah,
it is a motivator.
The sea of DG blue is just an incredible sight, and watching the start is just an amazing thing.
Okay, Paul, what we're going to do, we're going to come to you now so that we don't have to interrupt Miss Edgington in her contribution to this discussion. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Anton Bancroft Bawden. Anton Bawden came of age at a time when educational opportunities in the Cayman Islands were very limited, and he made the best of what they were. In 1943, he left Cayman to seek his fortune in Colon, Panama. After 4 years, he returned home and started his own business, which included barbering and opening a modern dancing studio. He was elected as vestryman representing Bawden Town. With the advent of constitutional change in the late 1950s, he became a founding member of the National Democratic Party and was elected under their banner in 1960. His political career spanned 12 years. He was married to Vernice Nee Miller, and the two had 5 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Saturday, April 18th, will be the gathering of the future The gathering of budding scientists, budding botanists, budding engineers, budding medical specialists, marine biologists, systems architects, and much, much more. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair will be at the Arc Commander Bay 8 a.m. to 12 noon. The gathering of the future. Students from over 15 schools across Cayman. Save the date, April 18th. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, sponsored by CUC, supported by the Cayman Motor Federation. Sign up today. RotaryScienceFair.ky. The future is sparking.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
When you join the credit union, you're not just a customer. You're a member owner with one equal vote. As we celebrate 50 years, our members continue to share the benefits. Enjoy strong dividends on shares, competitive loan rates, and the lowest lending fees on the market. Plus, we're the only lender returning up to 2% of loan interest to our members every year. For 50 years, we've helped Caymanians save, borrow, and build brighter futures. That's the credit union difference. Visit creditunion.ky to learn more.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about the DG's 5K challenge. That conversation is taking place with the Honorable FRANZ Manderson, Deputy Governor, and the co-chair of the DG's 5K challenge, Ms. Jennifer AHEARN, who's Chief Sustainability Officer and also the co-chair, but like the DG has pointed out, she really is the chair. And we have Ms. Beverly Edgington, who is the Chief Administrator of Cayman Islands, or Cayman Breast Cancer Foundation. So, Ms. Beverly, an organization that I am involved with, had the good fortune of being one of the beneficiaries of the proceeds from last year's DG 5K Challenge. And we know how important it is from a financial standpoint, but also from an exposure standpoint. You know, your organization, you know, is out there being recognized. It helps to highlight, you know, what you do and probably, you know, attract more positives as well. Tell us about your foundation and how you expect to benefit.
Well, thank you very much. And obviously, thank you to the DG, who has been a phenomenal supporter of the Breast Cancer Foundation in the background for a while. He always does our Light Up the Night walk. Look, I gave you you got to pass this year for not doing it because he was in the BRAC. So yeah, it's something exactly. It's that exposure to the wider community on the work that we do, which is so much more than what people I think realise. Having cancer, full stop, but breast cancer in particular is an incredibly expensive disease to have, and here in Cayman, the Breast Cancer Foundation supports you the whole way through your journey, from start to finish, but also beforehand. So with education, working in the community, working alongside public health, going into places, you know, like all the corporates that are sponsoring, being allowed to come into government to talk to people about early detection. It's literally what it says on the tin: early detection saves lives, and this money is going to go towards our early detection program. So something that we're incredibly proud of is the statistics that we have at the Breast Cancer Foundation. And we'd really like to get rid of some myths that are out there, one of which is there's more breast cancer in the Cayman Islands than anywhere else in the world. And that's absolutely not true, but we all know everybody. It's a small community, so if we all talk about a 45-year-old that has 2 children, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us in the room. We could all be talking about the same woman, but we all think it's 4 different women. So that's really important. But something we're incredibly proud of is 10 years ago, or just over 10 years ago, 70% of breast cancer here in the Cayman Islands wasn't diagnosed till stage 4. And I think everyone knows what a stage 4 cancer diagnosis is. At the end of last year, over 70% of breast cancer in the Cayman Islands was diagnosed at stage 1 or less.
Beautiful.
That means there is more than a 99% survival rate. That is as close to a cure as we're ever going to get. And the money from this is going to that. Look, it's making me go. It's going to that program. So literally, when you're walking, you are saving lives. Every step you take is saving a life. Every $25 you donate is going towards that program that is going to save someone that you know's life. 1 in 7 women in their lifetime will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and 1 in 2 people. So again, there's 4 of us. That means 2 people in this room, and I suppose you should exclude me, will be affected by breast cancer in some way or form. So either a member of your family or a colleague that you work with will be diagnosed. So, you know, if you are on the fence, although 2,300 people aren't, which is amazing, but let's break records. I'm going to say it for a purely selfish reason for ourselves. Special Olympics and Jasmine, let's break records. Let's send the DG off, you know, on this wonderful wave of something that he has started. But yeah, for us, every step that you take is saving a life.
And can we get your perspective on the fact that years ago, it was almost taboo to talk about cancer and breast cancer in particular. And now we have, you know, people championing, you know, the cause in terms of early detection and everything. Just recently, the chief of staff for the U.S. President, Susan Wiles, announced that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer as well. How important it is for people to be upfront with it, to be able to make other people aware of what is taking place.
Well, and I really do wish I got paid $10 for every time I say this so I could retire. Not knowing you have breast cancer is not the same as not having breast cancer, and that's why we have to have these conversations. And so it's fine for, you know, the lady in pink to talk about it, but it's even more important for somebody like the DG to be highlighting this, so, like yourself. and your role within the Scouts. It's really important, and it's very important that these subjects aren't taboo, that if you notice something wrong, that you do seek help or assistance and you go straight to your doctor, because I haven't met a single GP in Cayman yet that has said, well, if you came to me with a concern, I'd just go poo-poo, off you go. They're not going to, because here comes another $10 for me. Not knowing you have breast cancer is not the same as not having it, and early detection will save your life. I mean, we are incredibly, and off air we were talking about this, blessed for the medical and health services that are available on such a small island. You no longer have to leave your district, literally, to get all the treatment. You can have your surgery here in Cayman. You can have your chemotherapy. You can have your radiotherapy. And there is nothing more healing than a home-cooked food, friends and family around you in your own bed. Okay, so we're lucky, but it shouldn't be a taboo subject. We should be able to talk about it without you being embarrassed.
Certainly, certainly. So we want to give each of you an opportunity for some closing comments, but first we're going to go to Ms. Jennifer so she can touch on all of the important points. And I just want to say to Daybreakers and the East End cycling group as well, they're called the East End Sunrise Cycling Group in East End, Nobe and his crew, the rest of us, encouraging you that even if you are unable to participate, please register. We want to get those numbers up as well. So I'll be sending those WhatsApp messages out to remind everyone as well. Ms. Jennifer.
That's awesome, OC. Thank you so much. Yes, so please, everyone, if you're on the fence, now is the time to go to www.racecaribbean.com and get signed up for this Sunday's event. The race starts and finishes at the Government Administration Building. We were saying earlier, 6:30 a.m. sharp will be our start time. It is a timed race with the timing chip embedded in your race bib. So you want to make sure that you allow lots of time to get here early, find some parking, encourage everyone to carpool if you can, bring your reusable water bottle, and get ready to have some amazing fun. So after you've registered at racecaribbean.com, the race package pickup is taking place tomorrow and Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the public lobby at the Government Administration Building. And the public health team will be there between 9 and 1 on both days, offering free health checks as well. So another opportunity to check in on your wellness. Just huge thanks again to our sponsors, our diamond sponsor, Appleby, our platinum sponsor, Butterfield, our gold sponsors, Cineco, the credit union, DART, Davenport Development, and EY. We couldn't do it without them. And as Miss Beverly said, your $25 is going to make a difference. And we pull it all together. The DG is hoping to raise and donate $100,000 this year. Please come and help us meet that target.
Certainly. Ms. Beverly, and then the DG will have the final say.
So on behalf of the Breast Cancer Foundation, but also the Special Olympics and Jasmine, thank you, DG. Thank you for doing this.
Yes.
On behalf of my personal self, the DG knows this, I signed up and downloaded the Couch to 5K, and he and I have done several 5Ks this year together.
That's right.
We drag ourselves and go, hi. And that's right. I think I tagged a couple of pictures of you and I very early in the morning.
That's right.
But yeah, this is about saving lives for us, and it literally is. So thank you, and have those conversations. Please have those conversations, and that's for all three of our charities. I'll speak on behalf of all three of them. You should be speaking, it's 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, please don't think that you can escape this. It's 2% of men now. So thank you very much.
Okay,
and thank you to Miss Jennifer as well for all her hard work.
Yes.
DG?
Thank you. Again, thank you, Mr. Connor, for having us here. And as Beverly said, I think we all owe Miss Jennifer a big debt of gratitude for the excellent work she do every year to getting us this very successful DG's 5K. My schedule is always extremely busy, and I rely very heavily on Miss AHEARN to get us to the finish line. She always does that. And there's so many people that make this happen, all the volunteers, registration, health and safety, which of course is very important. We want people to slow down on the roads when you see the big crowds, the marshalling, the refreshments, the communication, all the logistics. There's so many people that are behind the scenes, and so many people come out and volunteer.
Yes.
And I keep saying that's what makes our island special. The people who live here who genuinely care about our communities, that want to be part of a solution. So thanks, everyone. To the people out there, register today, please. I know there's some people that I met that said, oh, I'm going to register tomorrow. Please stop putting it off. Let's do it now. Get out, get your heart rate up, and be part of a great cause. I think Ms. Beverly said it all this morning. We can save lives together. Early detection, education, but being able to help someone who is suffering from this disease. And of course, people ask me why I choose these charities or what goes into it, and I pay attention to what's happening in our community, and I see the work that is happening with Miss Jennifer and Miss Beverly and her team.
I wish I was Miss
Yeah.
I'm not as organized as she is.
But also, Jasmine was our very first charity, and they got the least amount of money. So I want to make sure that they were recognized for the work that they do, and they're buying some cuddle beds for their patients. And then the Special Olympic athletes are going to Chile this year. And I thought it was very important to recognize the work of that organization and the work that they do with our Special Olympic athletes. So it's all great causes, so come out and be part of the DG's 5K. And I am so proud of the response that we've gotten so far, and I would like to hit that record number. So let's go for it.
Yep, and we're going to help you in doing that as well. So all the best. I want to thank the three of you for making yourselves available this morning to have this discussion as well. Folks, we've reached that time, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return at 8:15, we will have members of the opposition in the studio with us, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Another repatriation flight. Customs and Border Control says 8 Cubans have been returned to their home country. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
CBC officers escorted 5 males and 3 female migrants on a Cayman Airways flight on Friday afternoon around 1:15 p.m. CBC says that brings the total number of migrants repatriated to Cuba since the beginning of this year to 28. There are currently 17 irregular Cuban migrants in the islands now, and CBC says additional repatriation flights will be arranged as processing continues. CBC Director Bruce Smith expressed his appreciation to partner agencies for their ongoing collaboration and support. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
School inspectors judged Triple C School as satisfactory, its second satisfactory rating in a row, bouncing back from 2 consecutive weak judgments in 2019 and 2021. During the January inspection, the school had 161 students between the ages of 4 and 18 on roll. To boost its rating to good or even excellent, the Office of Education Standards has recommended that Triple C enhance the percentage of teaching that is deemed good or better throughout the school. Inspectors advise reviewing the early years curriculum to ensure it offers enriching and exploratory learning experiences for all children, and also that Triple C give priority to a, quote, systemic and accurate assessment of key performance standards. For more details, you can find the full report at oes.gov.ky. And Music at the Library Rising Stars will see a new generation of exceptional young performers who are shaping the musical landscape of the Cayman Islands.
Key Musica is proud to present this distinguished group of young musicians at the Georgetown Public Library, offering audiences a wonderful opportunity to experience their artistry and support their musical journeys.
K Musica's Marius Gaina tells Radio Cayman this year's program features outstanding laureates of the Young Musician Awards, including first prize winners Johan Yui and Alexa Valencia, joined by a selection of finalists from the same competition.
Together, they represent the promise and excellence of the Cayman Islands' next generation of artists.
The Rising Stars concert is tomorrow at the Georgetown Public Library starting at 6 p.m. You can get your tickets at eventbrite.com. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. A spokesman for Iran's military says the United States is negotiating with itself amid uncertainty over the prospects of meaningful peace talks. President Trump has insisted his administration is talking to the right people in Iran who badly want a deal to end the war. Israel's economy minister says Iran was unlikely to agree to a 15-point peace plan reportedly proposed by the US. Nir Barkat described it as beautiful on paper, but in need of guarantees if it were to be implemented. Sudan's armed forces have been accused of targeting the largest hospital in East Darfur on the first day of Eid al-Fitr. Researchers at Yale University say satellite imagery shows significant damage at the hospital. The International Organization for Migration says the number of people who died trying to reach the Arabian Peninsula from the Horn of Africa almost doubled last year. More than 900 people lost their life. The authorities in Western Kenya now say 32 bodies, including children, have been exhumed from a mass grave in Kericho County. The figure was earlier reported to be around half that. Ghana's foreign minister says efforts to have the transatlantic slave trade declared a crime against humanity are a quest for global recognition of historical injustices. The minister said the proposal was not about reopening old wounds, but creating a path to healing. A coroner's ruled the Indian singer-composer Zubeen Garg died by accidental drowning. His death in the sea off Singapore in September prompted 3 days of mourning in his home state of Assam. And Japan says it's regrettable that a member of its military broke into China's embassy in Tokyo. The soldier reportedly told investigators that he had hoped to meet the Chinese ambassador to tell him not to, in his words, make hardline remarks. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
You heard that the VEG program taking applications again? What that is? VEG, man! The Minister of Tourism's program that helping Caymanians create new tourism products and services.
Oh, I had heard about that, yeah. My friend was one of the successful applicants from the last round. I might apply for that still.
Nothing wrong, child. After you got great ideas for things tourists would love to buy, try so check out the website rcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and apply.
I'm going to do that right now.
Saturday, April 18th, will be the gathering of the future. The gathering of budding scientists, budding botanists, budding engineers, budding medical specialists, marine biologists, systems architects, and much, much more. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair will be at the Arc Commander Bay, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. The gathering of the future. Students from over 15 schools across Cayman. Save the date, April 18th. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, sponsored by CUC, supported by the Cayman Motor Federation. Sign up today, rotarysciencefair.ky. The future is sparking.
The 8 a.m. weather update, brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
All right, good morning, Cayman. Here's your latest weather update. Present temperature 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. Relative humidity 84%. The barometric pressure is at 29.94 inches and dropping. Synopsis and weather update as provided by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Moderate to fresh winds along with moderate to rough seas are expected across the Cayman area today as a high pressure system continues to tighten the pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. A slight decrease in winds and seas is expected from tomorrow as the high pressure system drifts east into the Atlantic Ocean. Small craft advisory remains in effect for today and will be discontinued for Thursday. A surface trough just west of our area, coupled with upper level support, is expected to bring an increase in cloudiness and trigger a few showers from time to time. Radar imagery shows some showers in and around the Cayman area drifting towards the northwest. So our forecast calls for cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise near the low to mid 80s. Winds will be northeast at 10 or 15 knots with higher gusts. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft advisory remains in effect. Looking at tonight, cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall near the mid 70s. Winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft advisory will be in effect. Low tide will be going out at 10:33 this morning. It's going to be high at 3:25 this afternoon and low at 10:13 tonight. Sunset for later on this evening will be at 6:36, and the outlook is for a decrease in the chances of showers by tomorrow afternoon as the surface trough moves further west of the Cayman area. Moderate winds and seas are expected to continue through Friday. That, my friends, is your latest weather update.
If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy. Janelle? From spring break 08?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Britke. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britke, where people come first.
What matters most to you right now? The cost of living, housing, jobs, healthcare, safety? The Cayman Islands government has set 7 national priorities for 2026 to 2028, focused on areas that affect daily life, from preparing Caymanians for opportunity to improving quality of life and social stability, to strengthening Cayman's long-term resilience. Learn more about the 7 broad outcomes at gov.ky/priorities. 7 priorities, 1 Cayman.
Good day, farmers and valued customers. The Department of Agriculture advises that the Commercial Center, Plant Nursery, and Cayman Brac office will close early on Wednesday, March 25th to facilitate a team training session. All listed locations will close at 12:30 p.m. Normal operations will resume on the next business day. We appreciate your understanding and continued support.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
All right, let's take a look at the traffic situation right now. Of course, the majority of traffic on Crew Road, Agnes Way, Linford Pearson, Bobby Thompson Way. That roundabout area, traffic coming out of Windsor Park, merging with that. And of course onto Huldah Avenue, where it's slowly moving, crawling onto the CNB roundabout, and then disperses once getting on Elgin Avenue and again continuing on. Some of that traffic going through Walker's Road up to into the Georgetown itself. Traffic going through South Sound. Also going through South Church Street and on to Seafarers Way. We got one cruise ship in port, so look out for pedestrians, visiting pedestrians ashore on the Georgetown area. And of course, traffic flowing along North Church Street, West Bay Road, heading north. Slow moving traffic, and it then starts to get a little quicker once getting onto West Bay Road. Look out for those visitors walking along the West Bay Road itself as well. Looking out from the Ritz-Carlton, traffic flowing into the Georgetown area seems fair to find. Not sure why these cameras keep freezing up, but let us deal with that. But traffic is flowing smoothly so far. To the Butterfield roundabout, busy intersection this time. I expect the usual traffic flow. North Sound Road heading east towards Dorsey Drive, seeing some traffic as well. Dorsey Drive also seeing some light traffic. Heading towards the airport to catch your flight on Roberts Drive, not much traffic there. And on the Esley Tibbetts, things some traffic in some areas, at the roundabouts especially, but of course moving quite fine. Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, light traffic this time in the morning. Urge you to buckle up, stay safe, be cautious on wet roads when it does rain. Some of our tires not wholesome unless you want to check out getting some new tires this rounds. Be safe out there. Look out for those at e-scooters, e-bikes, motorbikes, bicycles, and have yourself a great day. Your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Craving something new? Dive into Subway's new seafood subs. 3 recipes inspired by the flavors of the coast, including the crunchy seafood bliss, the scrumptious chipotle tuna crunch, and the delicious breaded fish and ranch sub, made with our new breaded fish nuggets. Subway's new seafood subs. 3 recipes made to rock the boat. Only at Subway.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Calling all couch potatoes. Listen, we get it. The sofa is comfortable. But the truth is that a sedentary lifestyle increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, obesity, and mental health issues, potentially leading to premature death. We're just asking you to move a little bit at a time. The National Movement Challenge is about making small changes that will change your life. Your health matters. Let's step into wellness, Cayman. Log on to gov.ky/Move It Cayman to join the challenge today.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.ky or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have 2 of our guests in the studio, and we will be joined by the Honorable Parliamentary MCGAW, Deputy Speaker, Member of Parliament representing Georgetown West, is it? Or Georgetown West in our Parliament as well. Before I introduce my guest, just want to talk, send out a few or mention a few more birthday greetings, as well. So it says here, good morning, Mr. O.C. Birthday greetings to our dearest Susan Watson from Venice Johnson and family from Palmdale Avenue. May you continue to shine the brightest, exuding grace and talent to the people of the Cayman Islands doing what you love most. We appreciate you and wish you all the best for your birthday and many years ahead. God bless you. And Paul, they're requesting a song that we can probably play later. Gramps Morgan, People Like You. Do we have other? This person says that they would like to send out a special birthday greetings to the one and only Susan in the morning. Radio Cayman from her friend Haley Hides. Also, blessed birthday to Susan from all her graduating class of 1982. They have just aged you, Miss Susan. Graduating class of 1982, the secondary modern school. That's coming from Dorcas. Let's see if we have any more. I think that is what we have for now. But we also had other birthdays that are being celebrated today. So we see that Peter White, and that's Peter with W-H-I-T-E, celebrating a birthday today. Esther Louise, also celebrating a birthday today. And tomorrow, Enrique Ruiz will be celebrating celebrating his birthday as well. And again, folks, to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts proudly supported by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes from generation to generation. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union looks forward to serving the Cayman community for the next 50 years and beyond. With that, I want to say good morning and welcome back to For the Record, to our guests in the studio, the Member of Parliament representing Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, and the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Joey Hugh. Gentlemen, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, OC, and thank you. It's good to be back in the studio with you in this brand new studio. Anxious to actually come through the front door sometime soon.
Yes, looking forward to that too.
Thank you, and a pleasant good morning to everyone out there, in particular those in Georgetown North. And it is a beautiful morning, very cool and a bit overcast. It makes you move a little slower, so if you're out there in the traffic, take your time, enjoy the cool weather, and be safe.
Yes.
Let me add my good mornings as well, OC. Good to be back. It's been a few weeks since I've been here. But really, really good to be back. And I would like to join with you in those birthday wishes, especially to my good friend Susan, who I've known for quite a long time. So happy birthday, Susan, and also to Peter. So good morning, everyone. My constituents in Red Bay, and also my friends and family in Cayman Brac.
Okay, so any special announcement that you have in terms of anything taking place as far as the progressives are concerned?
OC, we are going to be continuing our listening tour, as we've called it. Did you get that confirmed?
Mm-hmm.
So the tentatively, or we should say the next date will be, look it up here on my calendar so I don't get it wrong.
We went through a few dates.
It'll be the, hold on, sorry, OC. Yes, it'll be in Prospect at the Seafarers Hall on April the 16th. So that is a Thursday evening. We're going to get started at 6:30, and we're looking forward to residents in the area across from Central, where we started, up through Prospect and Red Bay, heading east, and then OC we're trying to finalize the next meeting after that will be in the Savannah Newlands area, and then after that we are hoping to be in West Bay. So we will continue right up into the summer with these tours. And OC, I think the first one we had in Georgetown Central was a moderate but very enthusiastic crowd, and whilst we thought that we brought our manifestos, we knew that there were still things that we campaigned on that that persons were feeling strongly about out there. But to our expectations, and to answer the critics out there who I saw the post about, why didn't they listen to us so many years, and why didn't they listen to us back in 2013? We listened then. The challenges were different then. Yeah. And even with all the research and roundtable discussions and polls that we did for the 2025 election, when we had the meeting, the listening tour in Central last month, those issues have evolved. And persons are feeling different pressures and perhaps more pressures.
Yeah, so new challenges.
Right. Yeah. So we decided, instead of reading blogs and instead of doing scientific polls and all that, this is the idea behind this tour, is that we wanted to get out there and hear from the people and have exchange of dialogue, not just tell them what we think, but most importantly to hear what they think and to understand what their issues are. And so we'll continue to promote that, and we look forward to persons joining in, because we really, I was so, happy with the way the first one went. It was very gratifying. It certainly, we just about had people in tears at one point. We had people pleading. We had people angry. A little bit of everything there, and that's exactly what we hoped would come out of it, and so we look forward to continuing that dialogue with the people.
I just toss in that it really was a very, very good evening, and several issues were raised with us. Some we've taken away to look at that may come back to Parliament in form, either in forms of questions or perhaps even motions. So it's I know that will continue as we move out and go to more and more constituencies.
Yeah, and again, as we are not just going to limit it to Georgetown. This is not a campaign trail. This is a listening to. We strongly feel that whilst we may not have representatives in certain areas, we represent everyone in the Cayman Islands and as His Royal Highness's official opposition. And I think, OC, literally the very next, literally the very next day at Parliament, we were telling stories, relaying stories from persons at the meeting the night before. And out of the meeting the night before, we were able to offer constructive criticism on certain things. We were able to offer solutions that were adopted, and I think overall we came across as a very constructive and useful opposition in the last sitting of Parliament. So much so, OC, that at a point on the Thursday, the government decided that, listen, these guys have done their research. These guys are serious. We presented, and I'm actually taking the liberty, OC, to speak for the entire opposition, not just the PPM opposition, because there was fantastic contributions from everyone across the opposition. And on the Thursday morning, the government, I guess, realized or accepted that, listen, we need to put politics out of this, because the opposition have brought real ideas to the table. They have done their research. They have offered valid amendments to our own bills and motions. So let's huddle with them and let's agree on these things up front. Let's take out the combativeness out of it, and see if we can move things forward on these important things for the people. And I think at the end of the session, the Honourable Speaker spoke to what he saw take place that day, where he saw a Parliament working together from both sides, which is very unusual, and a day where there was not a single no vote on any, and it was Opposition's Day. And then we finished up early enough to go into some of the government business. So there was a bit of both opposition and government business on the day. And from a PPM perspective, our 4 motions passed with the full support of the House. Amendments we made to government motions were accepted. And at the end of the day, there was not a single no vote, which the Speaker says in his history he's not seen that before.
Okay, so what we'll do, on the other side of this commercial break, could we take a deeper dive into some of these areas where you were able to gain consensus on, and things were then they were addressed in a bipartisan fashion, as opposed to in a partisan way? I'm sure that our listening and viewing audience, especially those who didn't have the opportunity to be able to listen to the proceedings, do a deeper dive into some of these areas of cooperation that you were able to achieve as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Your dream home starts with a vision.
And often inspiration is at the heart of that vision.
Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Expecting a baby? Protect their first months from serious breathing illness and hospitalization with the RSV vaccine. The updated national immunization schedule now introduces an RSV vaccine for pregnant women between 28 and 36 weeks. When you get vaccinated, protective antibodies pass to your baby before birth. Vaccination also builds herd immunity, reducing the spread of infection in the community. Keep your newborn safe. Ask your healthcare provider about the RSV vaccine today. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department.
My earliest recollection when I was in high school is looking forward to Saturday mornings. Radio Cayman had my favorite show, the Top 15 Countdown. It was then hosted by Lomax Rankin and sponsored by Funky Tanks. A couple years later, I got a job there. I was able to host that same show all by myself. It will be a countdown of the 15 best-selling records on the island, one by one, till we get to the top. This is Alfred T.A. Radio Cayman want to wish you a happy 50th anniversary and keep on jamming till infinity and beyond.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio, we have the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Joey Hugh, and also the Member of Parliament representing the constituents of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. Before we go over to them, this person just wants to wish Josie from the 7 Mile Shuttle Group a happy birthday. Hope your day is filled with fun, surprises, and absolutely no responsibilities. The world got a whole lot better the day you were born. Have a fantastic day. Coming from Andrea. Gentlemen.
Thank you, OC. Yeah, so OC, there was a lot of government business. A lot of those were just belts and braces from the government. One of the particular ones where we saw a unified approach to was the government motion on the beneficial ownership transparency, legitimate interest access amendment to the regulations in reducing the cost for qualified individuals to view beneficial ownership on the registry. Out of that, it was widely published in the press that you had a unified front from the opposition and the government, that, you know, we have continued to set the standard and we have continued to be ahead of the benchmarks for when it comes to transparency. And we now feel that we have gone far enough until the rest of the world catches up. we cannot, first and foremost is the protection of our industry and the protection of the Caymanian people, and not to be setting global standards, at the whims and demands of others. So, I think that came across quite clear in the meeting, and it was picked up by the press. We all stand unified on that front entirely. There was also motions to the Registered Lands Act.
Registered Land Act, yeah.
Which Mr. Tatum had done a lot of work in the past, even when he was not an MP, in supporting the party with his banking background, in pushing for further transparency in foreclosures and that from the banks, and setting standards. And so he was, even though he was not on Ireland, he was off on Parliament business. He worked along with the Honourable Roy McTaggart and presented some important amendments to that act and added our support to it, because it is something that we have brought private member motions and we've campaigned on in the past. If you want to elaborate, Mr.
Thanks, Mr. Leader. Also, you might recall several times I've been in the studio here, and someone has called up asking about the private member's motion that Honourable Roy McTaggart brought when he was leader of the opposition.
Yes.
Requesting the government look into various things with regards to banking. One was to update the Bankers' Code of Conduct and bring it more in line with what the UK had, particularly in the aftermath or during COVID. And the bankers have updated their code of conduct. Whether it's gone far enough, we shall see. But it's supposedly better than it was. Another had to do with bringing into force an updated amendments to the Registered Land Act. So work that had been done previously and that had been presented, I think, just prior to COVID, but hadn't gone anywhere in the last 6 years. And then there was another request to have more regulation around banking, perhaps through SEMA, which still nothing has been done with yet, so watch that space. But in terms of the request to bring forward the Law Reform Commission, I think it is, the work that they had done on amendments and upgrading of the Registered Land Act, we asked a parliamentary question last year as to what was happening with that, and the response from the government was that they were moving forward with it. And so again, this is another one of those. We can check the box on that parliamentary question or motion rather that my colleague Roy McTaggart brought, and we're very, very happy. These are significant changes to rebalance the ability for individuals, particularly if you're losing your home, losing your business, to have more fairness around the process. Some key things, but one of the things that's really stood out for me, because just a month or so prior to this meeting, I was trying to work with somebody who was losing their home, and I was at a point she called me. It really was a bit too late, but I asked at the time, did the bank do an assessment of the value of your home? Because the former act, until these amendments came in, didn't require that you have an evaluation on the current market value. Most banks were doing at least one. The amendments brought required two. If you've seen valuations done by companies, as I did when I was, I worked along with Sir Adam McLaughlin and the now leader in the two governments that they were in, I used to see valuations for government done on property being sold by government, and you normally need three, and those three valuations would just be so wide apart. So something was just wrong. But if you have one single evaluation, that just it may not be correct. So now it requires you to have two.
Yeah, you have nothing to compare it against.
Nothing to compare it against. So now it requires at least two, which is far fairer. And there's a big variance, I think 15% variance in the value of those that came in with those two evaluations. it requires a third.
Okay.
So that by itself, I think, is significant, along with several of the other changes. We did. I did sit with the minister to request one amendment, which he asked me to speak to his team, which I did, and they went away and considered it, and they came back and accepted it. And before I say what it is, I'll mention this, that the change, the note we received back from the legal team was that the proposed change they were happy to accept because they realized it filled a significant gap in what was there. And what that gap that was being filled was that prior to the processes, the new processes to be followed, prior to going to court, if you got to that, and the bank or financial institution, or it could be a private individual, taking charge of someone's property, that it required that they lay out in writing the steps that they had taken with the homeowner / borrower, to not get to work things out. That was not there. So if you get to a position where it does go to court, you now have in writing the full list of what transpired, and I think that was an extremely important addition. I won't take credit for the entire thing. I will say this to you, that being a part of a party, we do reach out to constituents. We also have an executive who will contribute, and we've had, I won't say who it is, but a party member for executive who gave a list of things for us to consider. When I was going through those, some of them had merit, but I thought the one that stood out to me was this one, I guess, again, because of my banking background and my lending background. So kudos to that individual for putting that forward. So I won't claim it, but I'm thankful to the minister and his team for listening to me and accepting it. So we now have a far better set of amendments going through than we would have had otherwise, and I think people will be treated far better.
Now, if someone had a question, I'm just posing it in terms of the internal workings of financial institutions, because we hear anecdotally of persons within lending organizations who benefit from foreclosures. Is there anything in legislation or anything within the internal policies of these institutions that would prohibit their employees from benefiting under certain circumstances? Because they're in the know, they have insider information in terms of foreclosures, and we have heard stories, of persons within financial institutions who have benefited enormously as a result.
So, as a former banker, because that's what I like to consider myself as, a banker, yes, there are. You are dealing with clients. You cannot be benefiting. You should not be benefiting on the backs of your clients. That would be akin to what's called insider trading, and I'm sure there are laws on the books that would deal with those situations if it was proven that someone within a bank was actually doing that, and banks themselves would not only frown at that, but should be firing that person if they find out. So I'm going to believe and hope that I hear the stories as well. I haven't heard specific things. I heard vague things thrown out there. So I'm going to hope that if it has occurred, it's a rarity as opposed to being common. But I have heard similar stories. But again, no specific case. Nothing pointed at anything exactly, but just this broad sweeping statements. And as you and I know, it's too easy to make broad sweeping statements. So, but it's something to be aware of and wary of, if that helps.
Yeah, certainly does. Okay, with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
Boy, I'm so glad I got that funding from the Ministry of Tourism's Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. It has really helped me create an awesome new tourism offering. Wondering if you could do the same? You're in luck. Applications for the VEDG program are now open. Visit www.ourcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and to apply.
When life feels busy, it's time to slow down and tune in. Breeze 105.3 FM gives you the timeless hits, smooth favorites, and the music that feels like home.
Words cannot express how much you mean to me.
Switch now and ride the breeze.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I go back to our guests in the studio, we have another birthday shout out. And I guess I should point out to you that this person who sent this is my sister. He says, good morning to you. Hoping all is well. Asking you to please send birthday greetings to Ronald Watler. Greetings coming from his family and also from her, Aline. So happy birthday greetings going out to Ronnie Watler, coming from his family and as well. Okay. Yes, Miss Parliamentary has just reached, so we're going to fit her into the studio. Meanwhile, Mr. Leader, we're going to turn the mic back over to you.
Thank you, Mosi. So on the government bills and motions, there was a couple of others. The litter amendment bill where we were added constructive suggestions to an amendment, and there also the admin appeals tribunal. That was as she walks in the room. That was a government amendment bill that had been deferred a couple of times, and the member from Georgetown West, Ms. PEARLINA McGaw LUMSDEN, and the member from Bordentown West, Mr. Chris Saunders, had several substantive amendments to that bill, and it was, or I think it was an act, and those were accepted, and the act was finally passed, which was important and a huge step in advancing the country as far as the appeals tribunals are. And then we got into the private member motions from the progressives. There was a wearing of masks for public safety, which was fully accepted and supported by the entire House. There was the removal of import duties on recycling equipment, which was also in line with the country's national strategy on waste management and was accepted by the government. These those were both moved by the deputy leader of the opposition and accepted by the entire government, as well as another important one moved by the deputy leader, and he's very passionate about this one, was the red line of amendments on acts and bills. And in fact, we actually saw where one minister presented his amendments with the red line version. So they got, before the motion was actually accepted, they started the practice, and so we were happy to see that being supported by the government as well. And then the final one, which I think I will say what it is, but I'll hand it over to the member from Georgetown West, was the limiting of social media for teens under children under 16, which received a lot of support, a lot of debate in supporting it. I think 90% of the members in the House spoke and supported the private member motion. And so I will hand it over to...
And I would add, I was extremely proud and honored to be able to second that motion.
Okay. And that was, it was quite obvious that was well researched, as well, in terms of her presentation. It was, extremely detailed, as well. When I was listening to it, I say that to myself, and I think I commented to
for her first motion
afterwards as well. Yes. So we still have about 8 minutes before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. So, Ms. Parliamentary, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Apologies, please. The traffic was extremely thick.
Okay.
Yes. And so, like the leader discussed, the motion that I brought to Parliament with regards to social media ban up to the age of 16. And I'm really grateful for Mr. Roy Tatum, who seconded the motion, because it's a motion that was not popular in the first instance for obvious reasons. But he took the time and invested in it and believed in it and seconded the motion for me. So for that, I'm truly grateful. I'm also grateful to the leader and obviously the government of the day, because they were extremely supportive in the motion. Initially, I think everybody had doubts about it, but I think with the proper research that I did and the more that I kept pushing the agenda, people understood the consequences that we're facing when it comes to social media ban. And
if I could just add,
sure.
Sorry, just to say this, is not so much doubts with regards to the value of the motion, right, but in terms of how it would land across the political and the landscape, especially with younger people and perhaps with some parents. So sorry.
No, that's fine. And for lack of a better word, I guess I could say that. But it really, when I thought about it, it was late last year. And I thought about it because I have, as you know, a huge family, and I have about 29, 30, 35 nieces and nephews. I've completely lost count at this point. And I saw the impact, whether I was traveling with them, whether I was in the room with them, and the impact that it was having was the constant scrolling. Was something, the addictiveness of it. In addition to that, sleep deprivation was huge with my nieces and nephews. And we need sleep. We need to sleep in order to have a development, for the brain to develop. But in addition to that, I saw that they kept questioning themselves if they were enough. And that was all social media and anxiety and depression. So a number of them were dealing with it. And me, myself as well, I found I was on it at least 9 hours a day.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, okay, something is seriously wrong here. And in addition to that, last year as well, I said to my husband, I'm not able to focus more than 30 seconds. And something is wrong, because with me, I self-actualize a lot every single day. If I interact with you, I'm going to question, how did I actually walk away? Did I walk away in a good feeling, or did I walk away in a bad feeling? Why did this happen? And so I try to do it on a daily basis. And he's like, okay, well, you need to start reading, because I was a person that tried to read books quite often. And I found out that was because I was watching so much reels and on Instagram, and the videos were only 30 seconds. So because my brain was not stimulated for every 30 seconds, I lost focus, or I wasn't able to focus. And so it impacted me directly. But also because of my women's brunch, the proceeds for the last 3 years was Alex Panton Foundation. Okay. We were hearing the stories of the social media impact from that angle as well. And it was a significant amount of individuals that were under the age of 16. And 16 is an abstract number. It is an age where your brain is not fully developed until you get to the age of 16. That's why it's not arbitrary. And so that's why we said under 16. Scientifically, it has been proven that until you're 16, your brain starts to develop. And when we start to think about things that we have banned for the benefit of our children, granted, a lot of dialogue is around, well, that should be the parents' responsibility. Well, we have smoking, banned for smoking, banned for driving until a certain age, cigarettes, and so on and so forth, gambling and so on and so forth, even though it's not applicable. There's a reason for that. And so hence is the reason why the government needs to get involved, because the parents cannot do it all. It is part and parcel of their responsibility. But I think teenagers, especially teenagers that are not listening to parents nowadays, are going to say, you know what, obviously I have to take this serious because this is now going to be law. And they're going to obviously react to that versus a parent. Teach teenagers here when parents say, do this, do this, do this. They're not going to do it. And they're going to circumvent avenues of trying to do it for themselves anyway. And so when I thought about all of those together, I then obviously spoke to my caucus members, and like I said, I'm very grateful for each and every one of their support. And then obviously I took it to the government of the day. And I particularly took it to the Minister of Education, because I knew that that was going to spill over into the Minister of Education for one reason, and the Minister of Health, who were very supportive. The Minister of Education, not too much at first, but the Minister of Health was extreme, because again, she would have seen it from a wellness standpoint. Yeah. And so I brought the motion, and it took about 4 months of intense research. And although it was well researched, most of the information, which was something that bothered me, which we have to kind of find a space on how we can get more data from a local standpoint, came from internationally. And we saw the effects. We saw the Australia. And so when I saw Australia, I was like, yes, this is the right avenue that I'm thinking. And that initially just propelled me into saying, this is the right thing that what you're doing. And for me, OC, although I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I probably knew it wasn't going to be accepted or it was going to be a hurdle, I'm here to make changes for the betterment of our people. Whether it's popular or unpopular, I'm going to make that decision. That's who I am. And I think no one at the end of the day, in the next 6 months, once all the framework has been in place, can say this is not a great motion, because we're going to see the benefits. They may hate us now, but they'll see the benefits in the next 6 months. And so it was unanimously accepted and well supported. And now I think the next phase and the next discussion would have to be, what does it look like implementation-wise? What phases do we go through? Do we go through phase 1, phase 2, phase? Because it will take some time, because we are on uncharted territory, waters. It's not something that we're familiar with. And I think we have to look to the off-reg. We have to look at the individuals' Instagram, IG, the service providers, and see how that can be done, because we know that age verification is not happening. It just, that's not something that's working at this time. So what does that look like, and how can we achieve that? But I think the first thing that we do need to do is speak to the parents and speak to the people that's under 16. Get their input, because they're going to want to be involved in the processes and the mechanisms. And we know about the VPNs, so we know that's going to be coming as well to try to circumvent. But if they feel that they're part and parcel of this process and they understand why we're doing it, I think we'll have a better buy-in from them. And that's the reason why I bought them. I'm really, really happy with the motion. It has gotten significant coverage. But I also know that Bermuda is now following right after. I think they started theirs last week or something to that extent.
These are banning cell phones in schools or something else.
Yeah. So it's something that I think is popular. The parents absolutely love it. A lot of parents were asking if I could change it to the age of 18, which of course that's not possible, considering their driver's license and everything else starts at the age of 16 or something to that extent. 18. And brains, it's 18? Okay, learners. 17 is learners. So I said, no, I definitely couldn't extend it to that far, but I totally understand. But another thing that I do want to comment on with regards to social media, it will help with harmony in the homes as well. Because a lot of parents are complaining the contention that they are having with their children because of social media. And this will obviously bring some harmony, which we're very grateful for. And also, at the same time, less social media means being more productive, spending more time with family, and creating a very, very good community.
It certainly is. With that, folks, we're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
One radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
New stats from the Economics and Statistics Office show the average inflation rate for 2025 was 1.3%. Overall, education recorded a nearly 5% increase. There was a 4% uptick in restaurant and hotel prices. Housing and utility costs spiked 2% as well. The only areas that saw prices fall were clothing and footwear, health due to a drop in pharmaceutical products, and transportation, mainly due to a drop in, quote, passenger transport by air. You can find the full breakdown online at eso.ky. In international news, Iran has received a 15-point peace plan from the U.S., according to reports from Pakistan, which is acting as an intermediary. The plan, which has not been made public, reportedly includes Iran dismantling nuclear facilities in exchange for the lifting of sanctions. An Israeli minister has told the BBC the plan is, quote, beautiful on paper, but adds Iran is, quote, probably unlikely to agree to it. Earlier, a spokesperson for Iran's military said the U.S. was, quote, negotiating with itself, adding someone like us will never come to terms with, quote, someone like you. On Tuesday, Donald Trump insisted Iran wants a deal, quote, so badly, saying Iran gave the U.S. a, quote, very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. Meanwhile, Iran's mission to the UN says, quote, non-hostile vessels can pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Some ships from China, India, and Pakistan have already been passing through the vital waterway. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio, we have the Honorable Joe Hugh, Leader of the Opposition. We have Miss Parliamentary MCGAW, Member of Parliament, Deputy Speaker, as well, and Mr. Roy TATUM. So one of our listeners has written in and said, will MP Parliamentary pursue a similar restriction for children/teens playing games focused on guns and violence? So they're asking you now, now that you're the pioneer, to look at pursue a matter similar restriction for children and teens playing games focused on guns and violence.
And that's very interesting, to say the least. And that's not something that I'm not going to explore. It's probably something that I need to explore. I think this is just the first step. But if you actually looked at countries like China, after a certain hours at night, like I think it's 7 o'clock, all violence is completely shut down. So you can't find it on social media. You can't do gaming, anything of that sort. I don't know how they control it, obviously. But it is something. I think whatever we think that is causing an impact, because even if we look at our generation versus what the generation that we have at this moment, there's so many challenges. And one cannot say that this is not gaming, violence on video games, social media platforms, not getting out and interacting. Like I find that a lot of young people are lacking communication skills. And again, that's social media and gaming and video games. They spend so much time inside and not interacting with individuals, which is key in this life. That's one of the many assets that you need to have in ammunitions in your pocket, is to be able to communicate and to build a network, because that's going to obviously push you ahead. But it's not something I'm going to say no to. It's something that I can obviously look at. I think even banning cell phones in school is something that needs to be explored as well, because these children are not able to focus with regards to when they're in schools and their cell phones. And one can't tell me that you can't survive 8 hours or 7 hours in school. If there's a phone that you need to use, you can obviously use the principal's school phone or the office, the phone in the principal's office.
There was no cell phones when we were in school.
None. And so I'm grateful for that message, to be honest, and I'll definitely start exploring it.
Okay, and just a little bit of housekeeping for those persons who are querying about opening up the phone lines. The phone lines will be open up later on. We'll let you know when. Meanwhile, there are several topics that our guests or panelists want to cover at this point in time.
Thank you. So, yeah, I think just on finishing up on the phones in schools, I think now that a lot of the schools are moving to digital, they have the mechanisms in place to block social media and all that sort of stuff. So the phones end up just being, because they have the iPads anyhow, and the phones end up being for communication. But it's certainly something to look at. On the games with violence, that has always been an issue for me. And in today's gaming world, it's no longer, we can't even say, well, let's restrict or ban the importation of the game, because the games are all predominantly downloaded online now. But an important factor, OC, when we speak about social media, time on the phone, and then the types of games kids play, and time on the gaming. The key here is the role of the parents as well.
Yeah.
Yes. We have to make those conscious decisions as parents. There are mechanisms you can turn off Wi-Fi. at a certain hour of the night, if you're going to bed, turn the Wi-Fi off, keep the Wi-Fi in your room, turn it off. You can restrict sites that they can go onto on their phones, iPads, and I'm not sure about the gaming, whether you can restrict them downloading games that are 18 years and older, because the games do come with a rating like movies. So I don't know if that mechanism is in place, but you can certainly. I know that, in the past where we were concerned about going to bed and our son getting up and playing games, we just take the console out when we go to bed and put it in the bedroom during the weeknights. So there are things that parents can do, and we also have to admit as parents that, while we may make an effort to say, come outside with me, or let's go fishing, or let's go play football or whatever, and a child, puts up a fight, or the minute you turn your back, they run back inside and they're back on their phone and the sun is too hot. We sometimes go, well, I tried, And
Yeah.
it's a release for us as well to say that we tried. And so I think there's that conscious effort that has to be made in the home, and in communication with and in partnership with the child or children to say, hey, this is what we're going to do. Your thoughts, work out, agree on what the rules are, and make an effort to sit at the dinner table without parents or children, without our devices, and have dinner, even if you say 3 times a week or twice a week, outside time. These are things that the rules that we'll have to put in place, and outside time may include parents as well, because while we overlook it, we need that sort of downtime as well, and a bit of fresh air coming out of the offices all day, etc. So I think that, this has to be a national effort. OC, parents, children, educators, the service providers, everyone involved, if this is going to work.
Certainly.
Yeah. And I'll chime in here as well just for a bit. Yes, parents need to play a part. But in terms of, these devices are more than just phones these days. Youngsters also use it to chat between their friends, and they even may use it for some schoolwork. But the key for this to work for us is going to be to follow what other countries have recognized and done. Australia. Just to say it, I did a quick check last night. Australia, Malaysia, Spain have bans in place. Considering bans at the moment, you have countries like Denmark, France, Germany, and my writing is so bad, I think it's Greece, and Indonesia. Some of them are considering even down to age 15. And as an Honourable Deputy Speaker was saying, this is just some number, some age that was chosen. It is recognized that up to 15 and 16, youngsters' brains are still developing. Many years ago, I had a family member who suffered depression, anxiety, and then when these things happen to people so close, and you sort of spider senses go up, and you start looking around, and you realize it is more widespread. You start reading BBC, you're seeing the same things happening in the UK, happening across the US. I went to a symposium, again put on by the Expanton Foundation, and I got to speak with parents and youngsters who were having mental challenges. And you get to realize how widespread it is here in Cayman, how widespread it is becoming across the world. Something happened, and one thing that not just here but other countries and experts started pointing at is the increasing use of social media by youngsters at an increasingly early age. And the impact, as the Honourable Deputy Speaker said, impact that is having on them as they mature and they start to develop. The thing that Australia did and these other countries are doing is making it a requirement of the social media companies to use their might and technology to prevent anyone under the age of 16 from having an account. that is what we will need to figure out how to do, and that's something we will need the UK to help us to do.
Okay.
We can do anything else we want internally, locally here, but if we're serious about this working, that's what we will need to do and get the UK to help us. Unfortunately, the UK are still debating the relevance of this, but I did a check in the House of Lords, actually, is about to rekindle the notion in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I won't belabor the start. Go ahead.
When you say you need the UK to help in this regard, you mean in terms of communicating with the service providers?
More than communicating, mandating. We are too small.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever contacted one of these social media giants and say that somebody's impersonating you, and when you can prove to them that it's not you, and do they ever listen? So unless you can get somebody like the police involved, and they sometimes may have to go to they don't care.
Okay,
right? These are giant behemoths. They employ social engineers, right, to actually create software. Algorithms, thank you. To make sure that, as the Deputy Speaker was saying, you on and you stay on, and you scroll.
Yes, keep addictive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that is what we're fighting against. So we need for them to play their part, and for us to make a real success of this, we will need for them to do for us what they're doing for Australia, and I assume Spain and Malaysia, and eventually Denmark, France, Germany, Greece, Indonesia, and whoever else. These are the larger countries, whoever else will be doing this. So on that note, I will probably line under this.
Go, sorry. And I think, like I had indicated before, the international evidence is quite compelling, but when you bring it home, like I said in my speech, and I'll read part of my speech basically, or a quote from my speech basically, when the research was done by Dr. Chantal Bassoon and Felicia McLean and Emily Kelly as part of the INSPIRE program examining youth well-being in the Cayman Islands. One of the key findings in that research is that participants identified in studies several recurrent concerns with regards to social media use, including exposure to harmful content, screen time addiction, loss of motivation, body image pressures, and experience of online coercion. Those findings are compelling here as well. Even in that finding, they had concluded that over 300 or 265 young persons had sought help at Alex's Place at HSA. That's concerning for a population of this size. And so although the international, like I said, evidence was quite alarming, when you kind of hone it home here as well, similar findings or same findings, that's a lot, should be alarming for a lot of us in this country, or most of us in this country. And like Mr. Roy said, or Mr. Tatum has identified, UK is going to have to get involved, but we also need regional support. That is the cooperation of regional support, because
strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers. And I'm glad to see that Bermuda had started following, because we're going to need Caribbean partners and international organizations to align standards and enforcement approaches. The enforcement is the element, how best we can achieve that. And I think what I now need to research, or started to research, was phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. How do we get that? Because we can't just jump to the enforcement element. We need to bring awareness, talk to the stakeholders, and get them involved, buy in, and go from there.
It won't happen overnight.
It won't happen overnight. It's going to take some time.
Okay, with that, we're going to go to a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and props, she use a card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
What matters most to you right now? The cost of living, housing, jobs, healthcare, safety? The Cayman Islands government has set 7 national priorities for 2026 to 2028, focused on areas that affect daily life, from preparing Caymanians for opportunity, to improving quality of life and social stability, to strengthening Cayman's long-term resilience. Learn more about the 7 broad outcomes at gov.ky/priorities. 7 priorities, 1 Cayman.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
This is Roy Barton, and I'd like to wish Radio Cayman a happy 50th anniversary and many, many, many more.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I did point out, just a point of clarification, that we would let you know when the phone lines would be open. I think there may have been an impression that we weren't going to be opening up the phone lines at all, or maybe the persons wanted to call in at that point in time when a particular subject was being discussed. So the phone lines are now open if you want to call in, if you have any questions or comments. Toll-free number if you're calling from a flow line, 1-800-534-8255. Other lines are 949-8037, 949-6990, and of course our WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good morning. Okay, and good morning to you guests also.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, concerning our young people. There was someone that visited the doctor in Cayman, and he said that there was a young girl, 16 years old, that was in his office on that same day, and she was complaining about a serious pain in her chest, and she told the doctor she believed it was because of using vapes, because she was addicted to vapes. And she was asking the doctor if there was anyhow that he could help her with her addiction to vapes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read in the news concerning Australia when it comes to vapes too, you know. I'm not too sure. But they're very serious when it comes to vapes in that country. I think they have banned vapes in that country, if I'm not mistaken. But vapes are worse than cigarettes. Right. And vapes are marketed to target young people, especially teenagers. I know you all might find it hard to ban these things from Cayman, but if you do, you'll be doing our young people a favor. But if you're not able to ban them, to bring them into the country and be sold in shops, what people would have to pay to bring them in, you all need to put a price on that so high that they will stop bringing them in also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Anyone?
Thanks, caller, for that. It's very valid points. I know that we've grappled with this for years as a country, and certainly as previous governments have. And whilst the vape should not be sold to anyone under 18, we all know that the vape shops do not card and that they do sell to minors. I won't even be challenging this because I do know minors that have gone and purchased or do purchase out of the vape shops. So I think this is something, again, it's a national discussion. I do not know if what the vape duty charges are, whether they're in line with tobacco or not, which is quite high. But yeah, that is one option. That is one option to address it. And certainly something we should look into. I thank the caller for those comments.
Certainly, yeah. Okay. Folks, the mic's yours.
Okay. So on the just wrapping up, I guess, until if any calls come in on the social media restrictions, the Youth Parliament just completed on Commonwealth Day a couple of Mondays ago. We had a fantastic turnout and great debate on some topical issues from them as well. But they have decided, the committee along with the youth parliamentarians, to have one more debate, and because they felt also that it was important and would be great to hear them debate this particular motion.
Okay.
And so we have a date for that?
June. I can't remember the date, but it's in June.
So the youth parliamentarians will be having a special session of Parliament to debate this particular topic. So it'll be interesting to hear what their views are for and against it, and see where the vote lies with them.
Okay.
And I've had conversations with them, so it will be an interesting debate, because both the Deputy Speaker and myself, as well as the Deputy Leader, MP Brian, we're all part of the Youth Parliament, and it's been wonderful over the last many months, seeing them progress.
Yes.
I travelled off to the UK for the 74th Westminster seminar. I got selected myself and Minister Nicholas Da Costa to attend that. So I wasn't here on Commonwealth Day when the debate happened, but I did watch it afterwards online, and they did a fantastic job. So I'm really looking forward to that debate on the social media ban.
Yeah. And Ms. Perlini, you mentioned earlier the Alex Panton Foundation. Can you think of other entities within the Cayman Islands that you would be seeking feedback from in relation to the way forward, getting ideas from them as well, tapping into their resources?
Yeah, I think HSA number one, to see if they have any data, but also therapists. They are they have significant numbers, and I think Dr. Bassoon is one of those therapists that has significant data that she can actually push my way, because they have seen it firsthand. And they continue to see it. So those are first on my agenda for sure. And along with HSA, like I said, Alex Panton has been very, very, very helpful with data as much as they possibly can. But again, we're very limited because we just don't have the data like internationally. It's something that we needed to start to monitor, but also. National Drug Council, I think, also was on my list with regards to social media. I was pushing that direction. I didn't get a chance to speak with them, but that's probably another one that I'm planning to speak with as well.
And also, my colleague mentioned, what was the number of people you said had gone?
265.
I would bet good money. I'm not a betting man, but I would still bet good money. That is more out there, because those that show up would be, I don't know if it's the tip of the iceberg, but there's many more out there who need help, who just don't, or either hiding, because I've seen this happen as well, hiding the condition or working hard to hide their mental issues, and it is a huge issue than the average person realizes here. Some years ago, and I mentioned this during my debate, we saw we saw what seemed like a rush of young people taking their lives because they were having mental anguish, mental challenges, suicidal thoughts. Mm-hmm. And you can log on online and you can actually find out about cutting and actually ideas how to kill yourself. So the impact is here. It is not insignificant, and we need to figure out how to nip it in the bud. And I want to take some time. I did this in Parliament. I'm going to take some time now on the radio to also, we mentioned Alex Panton Foundation. But our colleague Wayne Panton, his wife and family who set that up in honor of his son, need to be thanked on an ongoing basis for the work that they're doing to protect our children. I just want to say kudos again, said this to him again when I saw him last. I just want to publicly acknowledge that the work of the foundation is brilliant. It's all because of a sad event, but recognition by him and his wife and family that something needed to be done, and they had the ability to do it, and hats off to them.
Yeah. Certainly, yeah. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Do you know a Caymanian living and working overseas who's doing big things and making us proud? Cayman Connection has officially opened nominations for the 2026 Making Waves Awards, celebrating Caymanians who are making a positive impact around the world. If you're thinking about somebody right now, it's no time like the present to nominate them and give them the recognition they deserve. The process is simple and doesn't take too long. Just visit caymanconnection.org/nominate. Nominations close April 13th. It's time to big up our people. Do it today.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Less than half an hour to go in the show this morning. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with us, we have MP and Deputy Speaker, Honourable Parliamentary MCGAW, also in the studio with us. The MP representing Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum, and of course the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Joey Hugh. Folks, over to you.
Thank you. Well, see, just unwinding up on that last session of Parliament, there was the Traffic Amendment Validation Act, which was brought to validate changes to the traffic law, and in particular to do with the e-bikes and scooters. And I offered on that day some insight and pleaded with the government to review. They did what they had to do. There was certainly an issue with the way the e-bikes were being ridden and scooters and the speeds at which some of them can travel. But I've asked them also to go back and look at what could have been some of the unintended consequences, or perhaps to look at it from a perspective of how do we regulate this industry, bearing in mind that these smaller, more affordable and less and creating less of a carbon footprint modes of transportation should be encouraged and supported. And it came out in the press and during the debate that perhaps that, this was the law all the time. But the truth is that when e-scooters and e-bikes were introduced into the traffic law or act back in 2017, 2018, around there, it was fairly new, and they were just the scooters. And so what we adopted then was the UK standards and put a speed limit on them, that anything over 18 miles per hour would not be classified as under 18. No, anything over 18 would not be classified as a scooter, but would be classified as a bike or so. Apparently, a couple of years ago, recently, they removed that speed requirement in caucus or in cabinet through the regulations, and so it wasn't widely publicized that all bikes were now considered vehicles, or all bikes or scooters required licensing. And so when they began to enforce this a few months back, you had this uproar and this, running around of trying to find insurance companies to insure them, etc., and of course the impacts it had on persons who relied on it for transportation and the businesses that sold them. And so what I requested for the government to do is to go back and have a look at it again, because if you look across the world, they're all regulated by a speed limit. And if they set that speed limit, if they want to go with the North American, we followed back then in 2017, 2018, the UK standard, which was it was in kilometers and worked out to be just about over 18 miles per hour. But the North America, Canada, and the United States, theirs is 20 miles per hour. Okay. So if they want to adopt that, because one would believe that a lot of these would be coming from the UK and North America, United States, and Canada, I asked them to go back and have a look at that again. But what was missing was that the enforcement of all of them during the period of time that it became an issue was not there, because there was a speed limit. They removed that. But the bigger issue were the way they were being ridden. And there are laws, even if you're on a pedal bicycle, there are laws in place that you should have a light during the night, you should wear a helmet, you should ride with the traffic, you should not ride on the sidewalks. All of those were not being enforced as well. And so I've asked them to go back and have a look. There's also, when we also had to amend the Traffic Act for some of the tourism-related, the little carts, and then, of course, the hotels with their golf carts, and then there was a tour of the boats. Remember, they used to have them that would drive to the marinas. Yes. And so what we did was we said that those vehicles under a certain CC or speed cannot go on roads over 30 miles per hour. So West Bay Road, up to the North Sound, to Launch or to Lobster Pot, or up and down West Bay Road through residential areas, they were allowed. But on the major thoroughfares that were 40 miles per hour and higher, or 30 miles per hour and higher, they were not allowed. So that is still in the law.
Okay.
So if we were enforcing all of that, I don't think this would have been such a big issue. Well, what we've done now is that we've basically shut down that mode of transportation for all law-abiding citizens, where up to yesterday, I saw someone riding one, didn't have indicators, didn't have a light, had a helmet on, but still not following all the laws. So it's, and then of course we still see the kids going through doing wheelies and all these sorts of things. So it has just simply, now we'll have people looking to buy cars rather than riding scooters or a bicycle, as well as, depriving those who were using them in a responsible manner from their mode of transportation back and forth. So that was the gist of that. It was done in a very constructive manner, in which the minister, the honourable minister, accepted that and gave an undertaking that they would go back and have a look at that, and look at the various laws that would need to be amended and how they could enforce them. So that was overall the what was considered a very productive session of Parliament, and one that, I won't say who, but I was even from the other side. I was getting a coffee, and they walked in and complimented me on the strength of my team and the way in which we were came prepared, and offered constructive observations and even criticisms in some instances, but offered solutions. And worked with the government in providing those. So I think it was something great for the country to see the government and the opposition working together like that.
Certainly.
And whilst we will not just always say yes to the government, that's not our job. We will always try to be collaborative first, and then, if necessary, become combative.
Yeah. As I've said on this show several times now, OC. A strong opposition is a good thing for a government.
Certainly, yes,
right?
yes.
Iron sharpens iron. So that was a good thing. For me, every single, as was said, every single motion of the opposition was accepted. Obviously, I mentioned to you when I started that I had I have to be at Meals on Wheels for 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave a bit early. But before I do, I want to just thank the NRA and the minister for some road works. When I come back next time, I'll go into some more detail on them. Some road works happening now within the constituency. I just want to read, to get a taste of some of the things that and this isn't even all of them, but I just want to read from an email that I received from the NRA. And this is after chasing some of these things in the Parliament and meetings, and then also writing several times. It says, MP Roy Tatum, dear sir, following on from your email of February 12th, that was actually my follow-up email, and your telecom on Friday 27th, that's my follow-up phone call to check on these things. I wish to inform you that the NRA will seek to address as many of your expressed items over the next 3 to 6 months. We're heavily engaged in capital roadworks as well as several district-level projects in West Bay, hence the broad timeline. That's fine. The items of note that they're committing to now is the acceleration and acceleration at Selkirk Drive by the Church of Latter-day Saints. The church has agreed for them to eventually move the wall, and there'll be a lane coming into, dedicated lane going into Selkirk Drive.
Yes,
The government has bought the bit of property where Alec Kabab was the empty
lot.
lot.
That's why they moved.
That's why they moved. I think the gazettals and so on are happening there. I spoke to someone just last week, and they will be. The intention is to put a lane, dedicated lane, leaving that will then merge into Shamrock, which will make it a bit safer than what occurs now. I've almost been hit there myself trying to get into traffic. There's some other places they need to look at, but I'll leave. So the acceleration and acceleration at Selkirk Drive, speed humps on Selkirk Drive. They've now expanded that down into Abbey. Again, those are two things. Certainly that the traffic issues within the constituents are one of the things that and as traffic with speeding was one of the things I campaigned on. I've had this promised to me several times over the past year. They've now committed to doing it on paper. And the work has started. Grade and install temporary, I think it's a chip and spray surface on the short slip road between Bimini and Selkirk Drive. The work on that has started. That's long been awaited. and then some more speed bumps by Eddie Sanchez Park to where kids cross. And then also importantly, because there's one road in Prospect, one road within the Red Bay constituency, which is Prospect Drive, down to Holly, that I don't think has ever had a proper work done. And they've agreed to solicit hot mix paving estimates for Prospect Drive, and I'm hoping that extends down through Holly. And they said, note, the extent of the works is subject to availability of funding. Understood. But at least it's on their radar. And I had a number of other items which I will continue to pursue them on in terms of signage and some other things. But before I left, I want to just acknowledge the work that they're doing, and I'll come back and talk about that and a few more things when I'm next on. But I'm going to need to leave them if I'm going to get to where I need to be by 10 o'clock.
Certainly, and we don't want to hold you up as well. With that, we will take a commercial break to allow you to make your exit. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that its offices in Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac will be closed for the day on Friday, March 27 to facilitate a staff function. The Cayman Brac Operations Facility will be manned by essential staff. As such, there will be only emergency deliveries on Friday. Trucked water customers in Cayman Brac are encouraged to plan ahead and make trucked water orders in advance. On Monday, March 30, both offices will reopen with usual hours, and in Cayman Brac, normal trucked water deliveries will resume. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
Do you know a Caymanian living and working overseas who's doing big things and making us proud? Cayman Connection has officially opened nominations for the 2026 Making Waves Awards, celebrating Caymanians who are making a positive impact around the world. If you're thinking about somebody right now, it's no time like the present to nominate them and give them the recognition they deserve. The process is simple and doesn't take too long. Just visit caymanconnection.org/nominate. Nominations close April 13th. It's time to big up our people. Do it today.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Got something on your mind that you want to share? You can send a text, send a voice note, or even request a song. Go on, give it a try. Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, #Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning, and our numbers are going to go by attrition because Miss Parliamentary will soon be leaving us as well. So we're going to throw the mic over to her in the meantime.
Thank you, OC. And once again, thank you so much for having us here. It always is a pleasure, to be honest.
Thank you.
But again, I'm truly, truly grateful for the government for accepting the motion and my leader for being ever so diligent with his feedback. And obviously, again, Mr. Roy for seconding the motion, and my members as well, my fellow members for supporting the motion. It really is something that I'm very proud of. But again, now the work begins, right? It begins as in how best to implement it. And that's something that I'm looking forward to, and something that I have to work on both sides with and see how that can be done. And obviously it'll be done in different phases, like I indicated. I am also grateful for the public feedback. It has been significant and mostly positive, and I'm truly, truly grateful for that. It means, 1, that our youth is important, 2, that they're informed, and 3, that it was well needed. So that's good to know. Of course, at any time, people have my email address, my number to reach out. I know people have significant feedbacks and scenarios and concerns and how best this can actually get done and be done ASAP. I'm more than happy to welcome those remarks and those comments and those dialogues so that we obviously can get this executed as soon as possible. So thank you so much for having us, OC. Again, probably another 3 to 4 weeks that I'll be on here. I'm missing my community Wednesdays, which I'm really thoroughly enjoy because I get to know what's going on in my community.
Okay.
And I'm grateful for it because honestly, most of them don't want to come to you. So it's good to know that I can spend a Wednesday with them and trying to identify their concerns, or just for them to see their MP face is something that is always welcome into my heart. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you very much. All the best. Mr. Hugh.
Thank you, OC. So, I thank the Honourable Deputy Speaker once again. Her contributions within the opposition have been meaningful and appreciated. We had a very strong caucus yesterday where we explored our next topics and upcoming motions. And although I think she will be missing that session of Parliament because she'll be away on training for the Parliament, her contributions will still be forthcoming because we work as a team. And
Certainly.
If someone isn't there to move a motion, we'll move it for them, or ask a question, we'll ask it for them. So, OC, I just wanted to touch on probably 2 other things as well. And even tying it into the e-bikes and the scooters that we were just chatting about is one of the concerns that we have been voicing, and now we are seeing the details coming out, is, some of the issues that we try to fix as a country through increasing laws and increasing fines, or increasing the red tape and the ability for persons to conduct business, to conduct their livelihoods. Sometimes we need to look back and say, are we properly enforcing the current laws we have? And because the results of increasing the requirements or increasing penalties could just lead to further persons breaking the law.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're not enforcing the laws now and people are finding it difficult to apply for particular things or pay for particular things, and you increase those fees or you increase those requirements, you're going to find people saying, you know what, I might as well, I'm going to take a chance. And next time when I'm in a better position, I'll follow the law. But then they never do because they get away with it, right? So we see now numbers coming out about the amount of companies not paying pensions.
Mm-hmm.
They would be shocked if they could tell how many companies aren't paying insurance as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this has always been, you've heard me say it in here before, that the pensions is the one place that we know everything about everyone except those who are above the threshold, who are retired or above the threshold to pay pensions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, immigration knows everything about every work permit holder. But we don't know anything about Caymanians. What jobs are they doing? Are they being paid? What are they being paid? But that information is with pensions. And that has always hindered us in making informed decisions. Countries that have income tax can spit out that data immediately because they know everything about everyone that's working. And I think that, when you look at a situation where they're saying, I think, as much as 1,800 trade and business licenses aren't paying pension, something to that effect. Although some of those may now be struck and other, this is alarming. And this again, if immigration was being enforced, if people were being enforced working within the confines of their work permit, if the labor market was not, we see stories breaking about, labor market being abused and in particular the 3-month permit being abused. These were the concerns we had, and we think that a lot of our issues would be resolved if we were enforcing them to the letter of the law. And you see now where stores are coming out of these abuses and the effects that they have on the labor market. And if you think about it, we'll see. If persons feel that if I abide by the law, that the process for me to achieve what I want to achieve is easily achieved, that's a much better proposition than going out and breaking the law.
Yeah, true.
You'll always have your bad actors, but sometimes we push people to break the laws because we make it too difficult for them to make a living or too difficult for them to repair their home or something, all of these things that cause people to say, I can take a chance, and go by the motto of forgiveness is better than asking permission in certain instances. So it's just something for us to consider as a country and to look at, because I do feel, there's a lot of chatter out there, from the business communities, the small business communities in particular, about the difficulties in surviving today's cost of living and paying all of the necessary fees and stuff. And if we continue to increase the responsibilities on them, either the businesses will go out of business or they will start to falter on following the law.
If I may on that, sure. Very, very quickly, I know, and this has been one of the topics that people have been discussing in terms of their ability, the various government entities in terms of their ability to be able to verify whether or not certain companies are compliant. And they point to the trade and business license policy that was introduced in relation to government assistance and to make the application process much more seamless for trade and business licensing. And some people now are pointing to that effort, which was well intended, but the unintended consequences that have resulted now in relation to some of these companies not being compliant simply because they were not required to provide essential information at that point in time.
Yeah, well, having a trade and business license, you could have a trade and business license and renew it every year and not actually being operated. But when you start to operate, you have to follow all of the other laws of the country. Now, if on the Trade and Business License Board, you have representatives from the different agencies sitting on that board. They should have at their fingertips, they should, when they receive the agenda in advance of the meeting, double check and say, guys, we have an issue here. Because you can lie on an application. So the board itself providing all of this, and going and putting more pressure on the counters and stuff like that. So when you have the individuals, the representatives of DEH, et cetera, all sitting on the Trade and Business License Board who should receive the agenda in advance, would be able to pre-check these applications and renewals before they even come to the board. Another one was a liquor license when at the time when, all liquor licenses had to be done the week before the meeting or the month before the meeting. That put a tremendous amount of pressure on the fire service, on DEH and inspectors, where you can say, provide your inspection had been done within the last 6 months. So that, because, and then that, and the other thing about it too is that when you tell them that, when you have to get your inspection 2 weeks before the renewal date, which everybody's renewal date is the same. People can run, a rift of the law or not follow sanitation procedures all year round and then do it 2 weeks before.
True.
So if the inspections are random and the reports are sent back, and in some instances, my understanding is that it's the lack of the laws or maybe even the will for the exchange of information between the agencies.
Yes.
Right?
That silo.
So even having the person sitting on the board, you may not require that unless there's a special issue. If the application process or the renewal process was sent ahead of time to the relevant agencies who run a check on the companies and say, yep, they're good to go. Nope, this person is behind on pensions. No, this person. I even said that, I said it on this show as well, that there should be a 3 strikes, you're out, or sort of thing with blatant abuses of immigration, pension, and insurance, that you lose your trade and business license. You have a thing at immigration called administrative fines and at customs. You break the laws as much as you want, and you can go in and settle. That doesn't say how many times did you get away with it before. Right? So you can actually go and just pay this administrative fine, and it's settled. And there's no ramifications as to how many times you do it either. So when we talk about, setting up standards and rewarding those who follow the law, I agree with that, but we also have to take action on those who continuously break the law. So I think adding more red tape isn't the answer. Being efficient in reviewing the applications is where the answer comes in. So, the way it was set up in the old days, when the population was small and we knew everybody, had one representative from each district that could say, oh, yeah, that gas station, that shop down in Old Man Bay, that's never open, and I see somebody working there. That's the way the board's operated, but we're past that now, right? It comes down, and each Caymanian has the right to open a business if they want to. And there's always challenges about, I remember when you needed a bank account to open a business, to get a trade and business license, but the bank wouldn't give you an account without a trade and business license. Because of the new due diligence, right? And then you needed DEH to approve your project before you get the trade and business license. Well, you need the trade and business license before you even break ground, because the bank won't open the account for you to pay monies to build the place. So these were the reasons why we had to make those changes. Because it was just total confusion. And again, the idea, I don't think the solution is to go back to more red tape. I think the solution is to streamlining the application process and sharing of information and using some good old common sense in how you resolve these things. And not, just say, oh, we need to put more laws in place. I truly don't believe that is the answer, not in today's day and age and technology. The Trade and Business Secretariat should be able to access limited information from pensions that simply just say whether the company is in good standing or not.
Or not, yes. Yep.
Right? And then if there's police reports on a particular premises about something, that should automatically there. I think there's police on the board too, but that information should go back and forth freely. The police should be able to tag a company in the Trade and Business License Board and say, we're having an issue with this company complying on noise ordinances. So this is the direction I think we should go, and not increase the bureaucracy around it, because all that does is create more work for struggling departments already. I think there were people on the show this week from the government that are saying they're struggling with keeping up with enforcement. So if you start to add more bureaucracy, where people have to come and go in line and get this piece of paper and that piece of paper, it's only going to create more work for them. More people coming in the door means more work.
More work, precisely.
Right? And you need more people. So I think, if we can streamline these processes, focus more on enforcing the law, I think we will resolve a lot of these issues.
Certainly. Okay, we've gone a little bit past, but I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments still.
Yeah, thank you, O.C. And Thank you for having us on this morning, a robust discussion as usual. Now that Parliament is over, we'll try to get back on a regular schedule here until the next set of Parliament. I think April 28th is the date that they've set for the next sitting of Parliament.
Okay. And Easter's coming up soon.
Then it'll be prorogued after that, and then in June we'll have the state opening of the Parliament.
Excellent.
So, and then after that, I think July, August will be the summer break from Parliament. But we will be back in on a weekly basis. We'll keep you updated on our listening tour.
Excellent.
And the work of the opposition. And thank you.
Great. Thank you for being here as well. And Miss Adina sending birthday greetings to Miss Susan also. And of course, I'm sure that who's going to be behind the controls? Is it going to be BBC later on this morning? If you still have some more birthday shout-outs for Miss Susan today, I'm sure that they will accept those as well. Folks, have a great day. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.